Sports has always demanded strength, discipline, and control. But in 2025, a few of the world's most famous athletes reminded us that power can look very different. Softer, bolder, and far more unpredictable. These men didn't have to come out or make statements. Their style, energy, and undeniable aura said everything for them. Whether through bold fashion, emotional vulnerability, or quiet defiance, they shocked the sports world simply by being themselves. In today's countdown, we're diving into the top 5 gay athletes who shocked the sports world in 2025. Jack Grealish blurred the line between locker room affection and temptation. Lewis Hamilton turned Formula One into a runway of rebellion. Luka Doncic melted hearts with raw emotion. Tom Daley redefined what strength means. And Casper Ruud proved that elegance can be its own kind of revolution. Which one shocked you the most? Comment below, and don't forget to subscribe. Few athletes embody modern masculinity quite like Jack Grealish, and few have blurred its boundaries so effortlessly. With his sculpted physique, movie star looks, and signature headband, the English footballer became the golden boy of the Premier League. But by 2025, fans are talking less about his goals and more about his aura, a queer-coded energy that keeps the internet buzzing. Whether it's his affectionate touch with teammates or the way he leans into his own beauty, Jack Grealish has become the athlete the sports world can't stop whispering about. From the moment he joined Manchester City, Jack's charm was magnetic. His playful confidence, cheeky interviews, and devil-may-care swagger made him a tabloid favorite. But the same traits that fueled his superstardom also sparked endless speculation. Clips of him embracing teammates a little too tightly or joking in interviews with soft flirtation became viral moments. Fans started calling him the bisexual energy king of football. In 2025, a series of Ibiza vacation photos set social media ablaze. Shirtless, tanned, and surrounded by male friends, Jack's carefree energy reignited rumors that had never truly gone away. Twitter threads broke down every touch, every glance, every lingering moment, as if decoding a love story the tabloids couldn't print. Gossip blogs ran wild. Was Jack queer or just comfortable enough in his skin to challenge the macho world of football? Fashion didn't help quiet the noise. Jack began embracing bold, tailored looks, silk shirts, fitted pants, pastel jackets, choices that gave him a softer, more fluid edge. In one viral GQ feature, he wore an ivory suit with pearls around his neck. The caption read simply, "Confidence is the new masculinity." Fans flooded the comments. Jack Grealish didn't come out, but his outfit did. Despite the rumors, Jack has never addressed his sexuality publicly. In interviews, he laughs off speculation, choosing charm over confrontation. "People will say what they want," he once said with a smile. "I'm just doing me." That effortless dismissal only makes the conversation louder, because for many fans, especially queer ones, Jack represents something deeper. A man comfortable in his own sensuality, unafraid of softness, and unbothered by what others think. Of course, critics have tried to weaponize that energy. Opposing fans mock him with taunts and chants, the same old toxic masculinity echoing through stadiums. But Jack's rise hasn't slowed. In fact, the more he's mocked, the more powerful his image becomes. Proof that being beautiful, emotional, and confident doesn't make you less of a man. It makes you untouchable. Whether he's gay, straight, or somewhere in between hardly matters anymore. What matters is the energy he radiates, a quiet rebellion against everything football told him to be. And maybe that's why Jack Grealish didn't just shock the sports world. He changed it. Lewis Hamilton isn't just a Formula One legend. He's a force of nature. With 7 world championships, global fame, and unmatched charisma, he's long been known as the man who brought fashion, activism, and vulnerability into the testosterone-fueled world of racing. But by 2025, Lewis isn't just shocking fans with his victories. He's redefining what masculinity looks like behind the wheel. Between his bold fashion choices, emotional openness, and undeniable queer-coded aura, Hamilton has become the racer who blurred every line that sports once guarded. From the start of his career, Lewis was different. While others in the paddock wore jeans and sponsor polos, he walked in dressed like a runway model. Over time, his outfits became his armor and his art. By 2025, Lewis's appearances are full-on cultural moments. One week he's in a lace shirt and pearl choker. The next he's striding through Monaco in a pastel suit and diamond earrings. Social media explodes every time. "Too stylish for F1, one headline reads. "Too confident to care," replies another. The world of motorsport, steeped in old-school masculinity, didn't know what to make of him. Critics called his style performative or arrogant. Others accused him of feminizing the sport. But for queer fans, Hamilton's defiance became something iconic. He wasn't pretending to be queer-coded. He simply embodied confidence and fluidity in a space that had long punished men for both. In interviews, Lewis speaks about freedom, creativity, and authenticity, never labels. "Fashion is expression," he said at a 2025 event. "It's not about gender. It's about energy." Those words became a rallying cry online, turning him into an unexpected symbol for modern masculinity, one that embraces vulnerability, softness, and self-expression. And then came the 2025 Met Gala moment. Dressed in an iridescent satin tuxedo with a sheer cape, Hamilton walked the red carpet alone, confident, composed, radiant. Photos of him went viral within minutes. Fans dubbed him the queer-coded king of Formula One. Gossip blogs speculated endlessly. Was he making a statement or simply being himself? Hamilton, of course, said nothing. Silence, after all, is its own kind of power. Beyond fashion, Lewis also challenges the emotional norms of elite sport. While other drivers mask their feelings with bravado, Hamilton speaks openly about fear, anxiety, and compassion. He celebrates kindness in an arena built on aggression, and that contrast makes him fascinating. He's the fastest man in the world, yet unafraid to show heart. Naturally, not everyone approves. Some rivals roll their eyes, some fans grumble. But Lewis doesn't flinch. In 2025, his confidence feels revolutionary, proof that strength and softness aren't opposites, but allies. And maybe that's what truly shocks the sports world. Not that Lewis Hamilton is changing Formula One, but that he's changing what it means to be a man. Luka Dončić is one of the brightest stars in basketball, a European prodigy who conquered the NBA before he turned 25. But in 2025, fans aren't just obsessed with his talent, they're mesmerized by his energy. That soft, magnetic charm that feels different from every other superstar. While most NBA players cling to hypermasculine personas, Luka radiates something else: warmth, playfulness, and a queer-coded intimacy that the sports world can't stop talking about. From his earliest days with the Dallas Mavericks, Luka stood out. He wasn't loud or cocky. He smiled through pressure, hugged his teammates, and showed affection that felt genuine, not performative. Over time, those small gestures became part of his legend. His playful back-and-forths with teammates, the lingering embraces after big wins, the way he holds eye contact, all of it turned into endless GIFs and fan edits that overflow with soft homoerotic energy. Twitter calls him the NBA's golden boy with gay vibes. Then came the locker room footage that broke the internet. In early 2025, a behind-the-scenes video surfaced of Luka dancing shirtless with his teammates, laughing, his arm draped casually around another player's shoulders. The clip was harmless, joyful even, but it went viral instantly. Fans called it pure serotonin. Comment sections exploded. "This man is too comfortable, and we love it." For a league still wrestling with the idea of male vulnerability, Luka's ease became revolutionary. Fashion only amplified that perception. Unlike many NBA stars who flaunt designer streetwear, Luka opts for sleek European tailoring, fitted shirts, pastel suits, and the occasional pearl bracelet. At the 2025 NBA Awards, he wore an ivory suit with no tie, his hair styled softly, his smile disarming. GQ dubbed him the romantic minimalist of basketball. Fans, of course, had other terms, queer-coded perfection. But it's not just about appearance. Luka's emotional openness sets him apart. In post-game interviews, he laughs easily, gets teary when talking about teammates, and never hides his feelings. In one particularly raw moment, he said, "Basketball isn't just about strength." Of course, speculation follows him everywhere. Fans whisper, tabloids hint, and gossip channels spin theories. But Luka never reacts. He simply smiles, shrugs, and keeps winning. That calm indifference is part of what makes him so alluring. He doesn't deny anything. He just refuses to explain himself. Some critics call it queer baiting. Others say Luka is simply European, comfortable with affection in ways Americans read as sexual. But for many queer fans, Luka represents something more profound, a version of masculinity that's tender, joyful, and unafraid. Because in a sport built on ego and toughness, Luka proved that sometimes the most powerful thing a man can be is gentle. Tom Daley has never just been an athlete. He's been a symbol of grace, discipline, and quiet defiance. From the moment he first climbed the diving platform as a teenager, Tom captured hearts around the world. But in 2025, he isn't just a world champion or an Olympic icon. He's a living embodiment of how queerness and strength can coexist, and how beauty itself can become a form of rebellion. When Tom Daley came out publicly in 2013, he shocked the sports world. At the time, there were almost no openly gay athletes at his level. The diving board, once a stage for perfection, suddenly became a platform for something much bigger, courage. And instead of fading into the background, Tom flourished. He went on to win Olympic gold, start a family, and become an outspoken advocate for LGBTQ plus inclusion in sports. But what makes him powerful in 2025 isn't just what he's achieved, it's how he carries himself while doing it. Tom's style is now part of his story. From tailored pastel suits to sheer turtlenecks and pearl accents, his fashion choices radiate a soft confidence that has become his signature. At the 2025 Met Gala, he wore a shimmering silver jumpsuit inspired by water, part athlete, part siren. It wasn't shocking because it was flamboyant. It was shocking because it was elegant. Tom Daley made strength look delicate and delicacy look unbreakable. His documentary, Body, Water, Truth, released in 2025, pulled back the curtain even further. Tom opened up about his struggles with identity, performance pressure, and the loneliness that came with being a queer athlete in a hyper-masculine environment. The film wasn't a pity story. It was a love letter to authenticity. Viewers were stunned by his vulnerability. One critic wrote, "Tom Daley doesn't dive anymore. He floats above the expectations we once placed on men." Even now, in his 30s, Tom continues to challenge the norms that once tried to contain him. He speaks about parenthood, beauty, and love with disarming honesty. He posts shirtless photos not to show off, but to normalize pride in one's body. Every smile, every gesture feels like a quiet revolution against the rigid idea of what an athlete should be. And yet, what makes Tom most magnetic is his refusal to apologize for softness. In a world that still confuses vulnerability with weakness, he's turned both into superpowers. He laughs, he cries, he creates, and he leads. And in doing so, he's shattered the last wall that kept queerness out of the arena of strength. Tom Daley may have shocked the sports world once by coming out, but in 2025 he continues to shock it simply by being radiant, present, and free. He's not just redefining masculinity, he's redefining beauty itself, because in a world obsessed with power, Tom Daley's greatest strength was always his grace. Casper Ruud isn't the loudest player on the tennis court. He doesn't roar after every point or smash rackets in frustration. Yet somehow in 2025 he's become one of the sport's most quietly magnetic figures. With his calm smile, elegant posture, and meticulous precision, Casper radiates a kind of energy that draws people in. An energy fans now call soft, queer-coded perfection. From the start, Ruud never fit the cliché of the fiery athlete. The Norwegian star built his reputation on discipline, humility, and grace, traits that made him a gentleman in a world obsessed with alpha aggression. But as his fame grew, fans began noticing something else beneath the surface. His fashion choices grew bolder, his gestures softer, his demeanor deliberate, caring, almost tender, felt out of step with tennis's rigid masculinity. At the 2025 Vogue Men photo shoot, Casper appeared in a blush pink linen suit with an open collar and a single pearl chain resting against his chest. The images went viral overnight. Comment sections lit up. He's serving art school boy energy. That's Scandinavian gay-coded elegance. It wasn't scandalous, it was beautiful. Casper Ruud had made tennis look like poetry. Then came his Wimbledon moment. After a tense match, Casper hugged his opponent, a long, emotional embrace that cameras captured from every angle. It wasn't performative, it was sincere, and yet within hours, social media turned it into a storm of speculation. Was it brotherhood? Was it something more? The debate only amplified his mystique. Off the court, Casper deepens that aura. His interviews are calm, articulate, and disarmingly gentle. He speaks often about balance, mental health, and empathy, words rarely heard in locker room culture. When asked in 2025 about being called too soft, he smiled and replied, "Maybe that's what the game needs, a little softness." That quote was reposted millions of times. Queer fans claimed it as a mantra. Critics, of course, have their opinions. Some call the speculation about Ruud's sexuality fan fiction. Others accuse him of benefiting from queer aesthetics without acknowledging them. But most see him differently, as a quiet revolution. In an era where everything is loud and self-branded, Casper embodies subtle defiance. He doesn't perform masculinity or rebellion. He simply exists in a space that feels gentle, refined, and modern. Casper's calm demeanor makes him stand out even more among his fiery contemporaries. Where others flex muscles and shout dominance, he smiles, adjusts his wristbands, and keeps his focus. That composure reads as confidence, the kind that doesn't need noise. And that quiet self-assurance, paired with his soft, elegant style, gives him an undeniable gay-coded charm that transcends labels. He shocked the sports world not with scandal or spectacle, but with silence. Because sometimes the most powerful kind of energy isn't loud or flamboyant. It's the quiet confidence of a man who knows exactly who he is and doesn't need to explain it. From the locker room to the red carpet, these 5 men proved that sports are no longer just about power. They're about presence. Jack Grealish blurred the line between playfulness and seduction. Lewis Hamilton turned racing into art. Luka Dončić made tenderness look unstoppable. Tom Daley redefined grace as strength. And Casper Ruud reminded the world that silence can be its own kind of statement. Together, they shattered the old rules of masculinity in sports, showing that beauty, emotion, and confidence don't weaken a man. They redefine him. Whether gay, straight, or somewhere in between, each of them carries an energy that can't be denied. So tell us, which one shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more untold stories the sports world tried to hide.